Okay, everybody hear me?
Yeah.
All right. So, over there's the Vietnam Memorial. And it's been here since 1982. 1982, okay? My first time I was here was in 1984 with my dad and my mom and my sister. My dad fought Vietnam. The government made him an offer he couldn't refuse. He was drafted into the military. Okay? He had a choice. He could go serve or he could go somewhere else and be a draft dodger. Most people answered the call and they went to the military. Okay? It's a very controversial war. Not a lot of us understand what it was about, other than it was a long ways away. Even at that time, people didn't understand it either. And to this day, it still hasn't really fallen into place very well yet. There's 58,000 names over there on that wall. Somebody's brother, son, father, okay? All kinds of different people over there. 58,000 stories. We're going to go down there and you can touch the names. You don't know who they are. Some of you brought some names along with you to come check out. There should be books around to help you look up. Ask one of the guides, ask one of us, we'll help you find them. But touch those names. Again, you don't know who they are probably. And just think about that there's somebody's story there. Now I'm going to tell you a little bit about one of the names. I'm going to fall apart because it's very, very dear to me and my family. Those of you who know me know that I wear this black bracelet on my wrist every day. It's the name of Specialist 4th Class Clayton Middleton. 50 years ago this week, he was killed in Vietnam. He didn't save my dad's life. It wasn't some heroic event or something like that. It was just what happened. He stepped on a landmine. The landmine threw shrapnel through his chest, made him bleed out. He ran right past my father, fell like a ton of bricks, and died. At the same time, my dad caught shrapnel in his knee and was wounded. If situations would have been different, my dad would have stepped on the landmine. I wouldn't be here. But maybe Clayton's son would be. Like I said, 50 years ago this week that happened, the 18th of March. And so I have a letter that I wrote to Clayton today. And I'm going to read it to you, and I'm going to leave it down there at the memorial for him. So please pardon me. This is going to be hard for me, okay? But I want you to think about the words that I'm going to say here. Because even though these people, these 58,000 people, we don't know who they were, and they certainly didn't know who we were going to be. They went to fight that battle in our name, to stand for something of this country that they felt was a better place and a better reason, a better way of doing things. Because they knew what was coming after them would be even better than it was for them. 58,000 stories, 58,000 pieces of dedication. So let me read my story, my letter to you, and you can help me put it down there today. Dear Mr. Middleton, it is 50 years ago this week that your life was taken from you. This happened far away from Kentucky in a conflict that few people understand. I did not ever know you, but I've grown up knowing that you died to defend freedom and liberty. You answered a call that most people would not ever hear. You and my father, John, were friends, and I want you to know that you are remembered, and you make a difference in my life, and I hope in the lives of my students and my own family. I stand here today, and I'll rub my fingers across the letters of your name etched in this wall. And I'll know that you are one of 58,000 stories here. Today I'm with 120 junior high students, including my own son, Brock. And I hope they will realize some appreciation for the fact that freedom should not ever, ever be taken for granted. That it has to be defended at all turns. Each of these names is somebody's son, brother, husband, father. And I will tell them all today that you had no way of knowing who we would be and what lives we would lead and what things it would be like on this day. Yet you went to do your work in our name, to do your best to give us the opportunity to live the lives that we do. Each day I wear this bracelet with your name engraved on it and your KIA date, the 18th of March, 1967. Some students ask me what the bracelet is. I take it off and I let them read your name. I let them feel the etching on the bracelet. I tell them that you died the day that my father was wounded, and the randomness of life and the war took you away and left my father alive. I try to live in a manner that makes my dad proud. I hope they'll make you proud as if you were my father. The opportunity to be a father was taken away from you on that day. I try to remember and remind others that on our worst days that we face is nowhere near the worst day of your life. Again, I hope in some way that these students with me today form some sort of deeper appreciation for the names on this wall, the stars that appear on the World War II monument next door, and all the other conflicts where men and women have died to defend the freedom and liberty with grace in every day of our lives. Dear Mr. Middleton, please know that your life was taken from you, but your name graces my wrist each day and is on the wall of my classroom as a testament to the price of freedom. We stand here today and we show our gratitude for this freedom and liberty, and we touch the names and wonder about the stories behind them. Your name is only one of those 58,000 stories, a story that is a bit more real. Thank you, sir, for a gift whose price we can never repay fully, except in living with appreciation and grace. Yours faithfully, Matthew Harris, Long Grove, Iowa. This is an honored place, something we may not quite understand completely. But we have to rise up and realize that we come to these places, we go to school every day to realize a better world for ourselves and other people around us. Please don't ever forget that. You're very young and it's easy to do that, but this is going to sink in for you. It may not be today, in a few years, but just think about what these names and the stars on the World War II monument that we're going to go see, what they have done in our name to defend what we have and what we take for granted a lot of times. But we can't. Okay? Go down there. Feel those names. Think about it. Something greater than us called them to do that. Okay? Thank you.